The other day I had a warning ticket from a police. This is after a very long time of driving. And the young man came to me and asked and said and introduced himself that he is from the state police. I said, okay. He said, I pulled you over because you were swearing from lane to lane. If everything is okay. I said, sure, everything is okay. He said, were you distracted? I said, nope. Then he said, can I have your license and registration, please? So I was able to put my hands on the license, but I couldn't find the registration. He told me that is the registration on your front seat, passenger seat. I said, okay. So he collected it. He said, just hang tight, I'll be right back. I said, okay. So the young man went to his car and came back. He said, I'm giving you a warning ticket. You have nothing, it's nothing to do with it. It's just a warning. Just try to stay in your lane. So as I drove, then I was trying to figure what happened. I didn't argue that I was not swearing from lane to lane, but it's not really a defense though. All I know was I was from picking up the car from Toyota services just to service the car. So they might have accidentally turned off the sensors. And so the sensors were not working. The sensors helped steady me within the lanes. And so I was struggling to get these sensors turned back on. And it's of recent where I knew where these things are turned on. And not only that, I was in the fast lane, which is also not good. So that's what happened. So the officer was able to block traffic, and I was able to drive home. So someone asked, well, I see you driving in your YouTube, you seems okay. Yeah, I laugh. The thing is, if you have an assisted car, it looks like you're doing pretty good. But once the sensors are not working, you need to stop, turn them back on, and go. Maybe that was my mistake. So and also being in the fast lane. If I were doing all this in the slow lane, I don't think the police officer would have stopped me. But maybe he would have said, thinking that I'm drunk. But any human being, you look at somebody with very thick glasses should know something is wrong. So when he said, "Were you distracted?" he was looking more or less at my glasses. My people, today is Sunday. It's about 1 o'clock that I just got up from bed. And the first thing is to check on the tomatoes. I have to go harvest the ones that are ripen before the skunk beats me to it. I don't know if they can jump over the fence, but I have to harvest it and probably eat them today and celebrate my harvest. If I were somewhere in the village, I would have taken the tomatoes to the pastor to bless them. See, there is something in the culture of African people, and a lot of people don't know. So when you start your first job and you're paid a salary, you don't use the salary on yourself. You take the salary to your parents, and your parents will probably buy some soaps, laundry soaps and stuff, and you package them to your aunties, your uncles, your grandpas, your grandma. In Africa, this place will be teeming with relatives. And you guys will be talking about the old days and some of the jokes like Pawara, who borrowed money for a neighbor to buy zinc and put on his roof. This was a funny case. So Pawara wanted the money so badly and keep getting false promises. They went to the neighbor's house. So he said, he's come here to unroof the zinc sheets from the roof. And he was like, "You can't do that." He said, "But I need my money." So you can't do that. Now the police comes in and intervene and say, "You can't take off the zinc." The question is, when you borrowed the money, the police were not involved. Now the police is involved when you wanted to take the zinc that was bought with your money. The world is very unfair, you know. But neighbors would be like, "Pawara, you can't do this. Pawara, you can't do this." But what should the poor man do? Everything goes well until there's a problem on the way. Then the police get involved. I don't know. The world is so crazy. Everything is going on so badly. Trump wants to run for re-election 70, what? 78, 79. And some people are even up to 80 or 89 or 90 years, they're still governing. And yet we want change. I don't know how the change is going to come about. You have Russia. Firing at Ukraine, keep killing civilians and all this and that. The Ukrainians are fighting back. Something they are using now are called drones. It's easy to get a drone. You ever heard of kamikaze drones? That's what they use. And that is how they blow up some of the Russian tanks and all that. Set it up. Direct it. Ukrainians are holding their own, There's a damn police passing again. Ukrainians are holding their own. And just like the Afghanistan war, Russia won't win. Guerrilla war is dangerous. The more you kill the insurgents, the more you breed the younger ones. So it becomes a generational war. You ask yourself, what happened? Russia was really good. They had eastern Ukraine cornered off with what Ukraine call rebels. And that created a buffer between Ukraine and Russia. So Russia decided to go for the whole thing. I mean, look at the map of Russia. It's that big giant country went against tiny Ukraine. Anything short of nuclear weapons, it's not gonna do. And if you fire nuclear weapons, be ready to die too. And that's what protects a lot of countries from being attacked, like Pakistan and India and France and Russia and the United States and China and even North Korea of recent. Maybe Iran and Israel. You fire one at them, you get one from them too. So, can't we just get along? I mean, just enjoy this free air and life and live until when our time has come to go. Can't we?